Transparency in AI is not about good intentions. It is about documented evidence. In this lesson, you will learn the exact transparency artifacts PMI expects across the CPMAI lifecycle and how they protect your project from risk, audit failure, and exam mistakes. In PMI CPMAI, transparency is not optional. It is a trustworthy AI requirement built into the lifecycle. If you cannot document why a model was selected, what data was used, how decisions were made, and who approved the go-no-go, you do not have governance, you have risk. Without traceability, your AI project becomes legally exposed, ethically vulnerable, and difficult to defend in an audit or exam scenario. In PMI CPMAI, transparency is your first line of protection. Transparency in CPMAI is about structure and discipline. It means every major decision is documented, every model evolution is traceable, and every governance action can be audited. Transparency is not a single report created at the end of the project. It is a continuous set of artifacts built across all 6 phases. From business justification to model deployment, everything must be visible, explainable, and defensible. Phase 1 is where transparency begins. Before any data is collected or any model is built, you must clearly document the business objective, the success criteria, and the selected AI pattern. The go or no-go decision must be recorded, along with ethical and compliance requirements. If you cannot prove why the AI system was approved and under which conditions, you will not be able to defend it later. Phase 2 is data visibility. You must document where your data comes from, how it is structured, how it is split between training and testing, and what quality risks exist. PMI expects clear evidence of data origin, representativeness, and potential bias exposure. If you cannot trace your data sources or justify your data quality, your model foundation is already compromised. Phase 3 is where transparency becomes governance. At this stage, you must clearly document how data was selected, cleaned, labeled, anonymized, and potentially augmented. This is no longer just technical preparation. It is legal and regulatory protection. If regulators or auditors ask how personal data was handled, reduced, or anonymized, you must provide documented evidence. In CPMAI, data preparation without documentation is unmanaged risk. Phase 4 is where transparency moves into technical justification. You must clearly document why a specific model was selected, why a particular algorithm was chosen, and how hyperparameters were configured. If auto machine learning or pre-trained models are used, that decision must also be justified and recorded. For generative AI, prompt engineering decisions must be documented as well. If a scenario mentions unclear algorithm selection or missing configuration details, it is a transparency failure. Phase 5 is where transparency becomes measurable evidence. You must document validation results, confusion matrices, KPI alignment, bias testing outcomes, and how model drift will be monitored. It is not enough to say the model performs well. You must show the metrics, the thresholds, and the iteration decisions. If performance changes over time, the documentation must show when it changed and what action was taken. Model evaluation without evidence is not evaluation. Phase 6 is where transparency becomes control. Once the model is operational, you must document how it was deployed, how it is monitored, how versions are managed, and who has access to it. Governance frameworks, audit trails, and access logs are not administrative details. They are protection mechanisms. If something goes wrong in production, these artifacts are what allow you to investigate, respond, and defend the system. In CPMAI, operational transparency is accountability. Transparency in AI is not an optional documentation. It is a governance requirement. CPMAI expects structured artifacts across all 6 phases, from business justification to operational monitoring. If it is not documented, it did not happen. Audit trails protect your project, your organization, and your professional credibility. If you want a deeper breakdown of these transparency artifacts and how they appear in real exam scenarios, you can find the full explanation in my Udemy course, link in bio.